about 10 years ago, we established the first bachelor's of arts in yoga studies in America. Through the unfolding of that bachelor's program, we've kind of developed a lot of curriculum in yoga studies, and part of that program was a teacher training, which is an optional piece. But we also started to focus a lot more on the histories and philosophies of yoga within the unique environment of Naropa University. Within that process, there was this inception of an idea to launch a master's program. It grew momentum and finally came to fruition.
The idea was to create a program that really focused on deepening both the kind of academic study of yoga's vast histories and philosophies, but also in the spirit of Naropa, integrating kind of the inner contemplative richness and practice that is so central to yoga. So not so much the postural yoga, but more of the meditative traditions, as well as a deep immersion in the language and kind of broad religious studies classes as well.
There's a number of courses that really go back to the beginning and question and reflect on the seeds and roots of the emergence of yogic traditions.
The program starts at the beginning, which is history of yoga. And so we go back thousands of years and we read the actual source texts that these traditions are based off of.
Yoga studies is a kind of a burgeoning field in academia, of course in practice-wise as well, we know that. So this program really helps kind of bolster a number of different professional outcomes and aspirations people may have.
One key element of the program is the study of the Sanskrit language. We have 4 courses in Sanskrit. It trains you to not only read the script, but to begin to translate texts. And that's a fundamental part of this program because it trains students to begin to do their own research in the field of yoga studies, begin to engage texts that they may be inspired by or moved by in the original language. And also it prepares them if they want to move on to doing a doctoral program in Indian religions and yoga studies.
I'd say one of the main draws for me to Naropa was the chance to really learn Sanskrit. It's been a dream of mine to learn Sanskrit for many, many years.
It prepares our students, both the BA and MA programs in yoga studies, with a much firmer grasp and appreciation and a way that they can incorporate and use it in their own teaching and practice, which they would not have got in other institutions.
The program is a low residency program. It means it can be taken from anywhere in the world, but it has 2 in-person retreats. These take place in the first and second years, and they're 9-day retreats where we really develop a sense of community and cohort and dive deep into the courses that begin that semester.
I work full-time in business development, and the way that I am able to get a graduate degree is through doing a low residency online degree program. I have just loved so much connecting with people from all across the country of all different age ranges and backgrounds. I've been surprised at how connected I feel to this community of scholar practitioners and how inspired I am by their work in the program.
My experience of the program so far is that it's both deep and wide. It's deep in the sense of the depth of the academic studies, the depth of the traditions, and how far we're going into them to have those critical conversations. And then on the flip side, there's this width in terms of freedom. Like, that's how I experience it.
One of the most fascinating things I think we've learned this year as well, aside from the wisdom within the ancient traditions, is how yoga has become globalized and shaped within the modern day.
One of the confusions that's been emerging a lot in yoga communities is questions like cultural appropriation, authenticity. What does it mean to be an authentic yoga practitioner, but while also appreciating the way that yoga has been adapted in so many different ways? And what are the ethical dimensions of these considerations?
There is so much awareness here on where things came from, and not only that, but who had the power when something was written.
These are all questions that we do focus in the program very closely in. We do it through 2 courses. One is a course that looks at power, privilege, and diversity, and specifically within yoga communities. And the other course is Yoga and Globalization. And this course really is designed to help students navigate a lot of the different questions about how yoga really became what it is today in all of its diversity.
You know, one of the fortunate boons of teaching yoga studies within an academic setting, one, it gives us time to study the breadth and depth of the tradition in ways that it deserves. So really enables us to err on the side of cultural appreciation versus appropriation.
The faculty in this program are spectacular. You know, we have someone who came from Oxford, we have someone who came from Harvard, we have someone who's, you know, teaching from William and Mary, and the level of intellectual rigor that they are bringing these programs it's so high.
I'm all praise for both our 2 major faculty in the yoga studies and the several adjunct faculty who help to teach the different courses have been very carefully chosen and contribute to the vision of Naropa Yoga Studies as an integrated approach to yoga living.
The yoga faculty, they once a month organize a yoga MAT where they invite other professionals or scholars within the yoga field to join us and talk with us about their research and talk with us about how they have made their mark on the world.
Yes, they are the highest trained academic experts that you could possibly expect from a master's program, and they're not just objective talking heads lecturing at you. They care so deeply about this, and we care so deeply about this. I just think it's a deeper, more caring, compassionate relationship in between student and faculty, and I'm so appreciative of everything that they bring to us.
I really think the scholar-practitioner paradigm is kind of like the perfect balance between these 2 worlds, between the vast, deep knowledge you get from academia and the personal, transformative power you get from your own spiritual practice.
Hopefully, students that walk away, in addition to kind of practical steps of being prepared either for further graduate work or supporting their own teaching endeavors in yoga studies, also have a deeper immersion kind of in the richness of this tradition.
We're allowed to be critical. We're allowed to challenge. We're allowed to ask questions about these things and not just blindly accept the teachings as true.
Now I think about Naropa as a crucible for growth. I think about Naropa as offering us the opportunity to build resilience, to find the capacity and the talents and the will to change as circumstances change. And we have done that with all our programs right from the founding days.
If you find in your heart a deep desire to engage with yoga studies as a practitioner and as a student, then I think this might be a program certainly worth checking out, and our door is always open to your inquiries and interests.